up here, up to there in the collar. I thought I saw something up there. So that's pretty good. First 3 rounds. This is Nozzler 175 grain match. First 3 rounds. Aiming for the gun and get it up there, collar. I'll come down and go right, so I'll get a measurement. Alright, so I'm gonna have to float my caps so up a little bit so I can get this thing zeroed. It's a mil, it's like 1.1, and so the difference, the reason why I'm having to re-zero is I put the scope on my short mag and I'm bringing it back down for my 308. Fairly easy to do, but on the sprint bender you got to float the caps up a little bit to be able to get exactly what you want. So when I'm getting zeroed, I remounted my scope, is that so from my point of aim to my point of impact, I get an exact measurement using a reticle. So I'm at 1.4 mils. So I got to come down 1.4, which is exactly what I put in. And then windage wise, I have to put in, let's see here, we're going to go 1 full mil for that. So I'm going to go 1 mil right. Okay, so my next 3 rounds should be point of aim, point of impact in the gun barrel. It looks like I'm 0.1 right. So 1.1 right. Okay, let's go see what we got. Close my caps. Since the wind's blowing, I don't want any dust or debris getting into my optic. So got my measurements, and that was 0.1 to the right where my intended impact was. So my first grouping is up here. I came down a mil, 1.4 mils, and I went across. I think I went 1 mil and I needed to be at 0.9. Then I'll go up to the number 4 here and I'll shoot my reloads for the next one. That was factory ammunition. I think we got a winner right there, baby. Alright, so what I've found over the years of doing this is that after you bed a rifle, or after you take the action out of the stock, and you put it back in, you torque the action screws in, is that you get the action does like a little micro settling into the stock. So what you do is you fire about 10 rounds, 12 rounds out of the gun, and then you re-torque the action screws, and you won't get a lot of movement out of them, but you will get some, and then your next group will look like that. Okay, so your action is fully seated into your bedding, fully seated into your stock. Action screws are nice and tight, and you should not have to re-torque them ever again. Okay, so initial grouping started like that. It opened up a little bit. Same thing, starts kind of drifting. Got a little bit of drift out of that. So at that point, I decided to re-torque the action screws, re-torqued them, and then shot 5 more rounds. That's the same ammo, nothing different, and get 5 right there stacked on top of each other. All right, so looking real good and super happy with that. So now we're gonna go back to 500 yards. We'll shoot some groups on paper and we'll see what we get on paper at 500. I got my target set up here at 500. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my camera and get to see the impacts on paper. My rifle is way back there at 500 yards. I don't know if you can see it sitting in the middle of the road or not, but it's back there. Do 5 round groups at 500. I'll shoot a couple rounds on steel. So we should be at 3.2, I believe. 500. Adjust my parallax. I'm gonna check what the wind is doing real quick. Maybe a little 5 more on the bottom. So this had a minute of angle group, but felt like the bipod jumped around a lot on me. So whenever I'm shooting, I'm looking at the reticle and the way that the reticle moves when the gun recoils, and it seemed like it jumped around a lot. So this first group was because I wasn't loading the bipod very well, and also my firing hand. I typically have a very good grip on the rifle with my firing hand. So this group, I did not have those aspects. So going to the second group does a lot better. With this group, it started off really well. I definitely loaded the bipod a lot better and definitely had a firmer grip with my firing hand, which made a big difference. For a lot of shooters, you're going to have to play with technique of how much tension to put into the bipod and how much grip to have on your firing hand. Your rear hand that manages your rear bag, that also plays an aspect. As a lot of people, your hands will move in conjunction with each other, and so you got to have that good balance. And you also, once you solidify your position, you don't want to move anything while you're firing. So on that third shot, I wound up kind of pushing on the gun with the bipod, and I just wound up kind of pushing a little bit low. Hey guys, so that was my day of shooting today. Shot about 50 or 60 rounds today. Had bright sun, fairly warm. It was probably got up into the 85 degrees today. And I had quite a bit of wind, as you could tell from the video. One of the things that I hear all the time is how guys get elevation shifts out of their barrel heating up, or seeing mirage, or getting face wind. The wind today was pretty much straight in my face, as a little bit of right to left, but I only had 2/10 of windage dialed into the gun to shoot those groups. The minuscule amount of air that you're going to get out of your barrel heating up, or getting wind in your face at 500 yards, 800 yards, it's so minor. I can't hold that capability anyway. So if I get a 1/10 worth of elevation change out of my barrel heating up, or wind in my face or something like that, I probably don't ever notice it. I have seen mirage affect rounds at greater distances. So at 1,000 yards, I've seen mirage affect my elevation. But it was also a combination of errors in which I didn't update my daily weather, and then with the mirage combining it, added into a lot of elevation change. But that was at 1,000 yards. And I have seen it at more extreme ranges, but typically your daily range going out and shooting is that you're not going to get all these major errors in your elevation and your rounds drifting all over the place because of your barrel heating up or seeing a little bit of mirage. Just doesn't happen in my experience. Anyways, got more tests coming up. So one of the things I want to do to demonstrate that there isn't a shift in elevation is that I'm going to take my LaRue out, my OBR, and shoot 5 rounds on paper. I'll shoot 20 rounds on a steel target as quickly as I can, and then shoot another 5-round group into the same group. And I won't go down and look. I won't be looking with a spotting scope. It'll be all videoed and documented, and then we'll go down and take a look, and I'll video the target like I did today, and get to see that the proof of mirage and barrel heating up is just not there. And we'll try to do that at 500 yards. I may try to push it out and do it at 800 yards, but at 500 yards, I know we're not going to get even a minute of angle shift. Like I said, shot 50 or 60 rounds today and didn't get it today, so everything stayed the same between the two groups. That was 10 rounds, and I'd shot 40 rounds prior to that, 40, 50 rounds prior to that. So getting zeroed and everything. With the suppressors don't cool down. The barrel doesn't cool down. Would not have had time to cool down. So my elevation stayed pretty much exactly where it was supposed to be, which was 3.4 mils. Started at 3.2, but it wound up being 3.4, which is what I normally use. So not a big change. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more. Keep it point of aim, point of impact.